What the fuck is going on here? Man, right. What the fuck is going on here? Man, right. What the fuck is going on? Got an echo somewhere. Somewhere. That volume is off. That volume is off. Thanks, Abe.
Came across a drifting ship. I took a look inside. I found a note that someone wrote that said, take her for a ride. I set a course for sights unseen, went out to open sea. To my surprise, a bunch of sailors joined along with me. Now we're sailing on the mystery ship, and all you gotta do is join our trip. There isn't any cost of membership. All the sailors here are really hip. I'm the captain of the mystery ship, and I'm a-calling all aboard our trip. I'm really hoping that you'll enjoy it up on the mystery ship. So bring a friend and come along with us aboard the mystery ship.
All aboard. All aboard. We are heading out into rough waters. Heading out into deep waters, people. Deep. We're going deep. Crazy Chuck with a K, good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're loving that new house. Are you loving it? Are you loving it? So here we are again, people, on another random Sunday night. But there's nothing random about the mystery ship. You know that for sure. You never know what the heck your brother Zoe is going to dip his toe into. And tonight, well, we're going to tackle kind of a tough one. I'm glad you're all here to share with me because, man, I'll be honest with you, I don't know if I could do this one on my own. This This is going to be a tender one, people. It's going to be a tender one. I'm glad you're here. Let's get a look around at the couple of three different platforms that I'm broadcasting to, just to make sure I'm live everywhere I'm supposed to be live. It's looking good. It's looking good. Yes. Yes. I love my brother Abe. When I first fired up tonight, I don't know what was going on. I guess I had several audio things open that I normally don't have open. They're normally always closed. And I was getting that triple, quadruple. I mean, the echo just wasn't. I'm like, what the bleep is going on here? And Abe's like, this is the most entertaining part of the mystery ship. Always good to see you, Abe. Always. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. Abe Sinclair over there in Abe Sinclair hanging out at the mystery ship. Yes, he is. Mystery ship number 576. Okay. Wait, what's going on here? That's not the right show. That's not the right show. View my channel live. There we go. That's the one I should be looking at. All right. Yes, we got people tuning in over at YouTube. We look like we're live there. Abe Sinclair in the house. Andrew Schroeder. Rain Cry 527. Shanji Girl. Nice to have you. Nice to have you along for the ride. R. Charlie, I'm so glad you're here. Boy, this is going to be... I hope I don't make you cry by the end of this one, my dear. Top Hat Jack is with us. Good to see you all. Rain Cry, how you doing, Bill? Man, great people hanging out over there. And of course, at the home of free speech in America, yes, I am talking about Pilled Foxhole, the place where you can let it all hang out. Nobody judges you there. Whatever you get to say, whatever you got to say, no one is going to shut you down. Thanks to the Mats over there for their amazing support of this program and many others. Let's see, Rooster is in the house. Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. Zoom is with us. Johnny Dangerously, how you doing, brother? Good to see you. Great to see you. Crazy Chuck with a K is with us. Willie Fix-It, sporting that Lincoln Continental. Girl Patriot, how you doing, darling? Trick Pony, all the way from Maine. SM Jameson. Hello to you too. Prairie Fire, man, it's always good to see you. What an appropriate sticker. You have no idea what you're in for this evening, my friend. No idea. But I need you people to get me through this one. This is going to be a rough one. Thank you to all of the wonderful folks who came across with the three beer men. I mean, I'm looking at a packed house up there. So many names, I can't catch them all. Wow, crazy. Good to have all of you beautiful people here. All of you beautiful people. Tyrant Soras wrecked. I love it. I like it. That's a great name. And I love that sticker. Good to have you aboard. How about over to the champions? I'm talking the champions. Yes, they won last Wednesday night. They won fair and square. Fair and square. D-Live. D-Live sporting the crown for the next month. Turn on that last light. Somehow I've tucked my earbuds into my pants and I can't pull them out. So I'll save you from, I'll wait to a commercial to fix that. Peggy Dancer is with us, donating a lemon. Thank you so much. Val Kimber. He said he just saw the first lightning bug of the season. Damn it, I love those so much. Bad Zoot says, sounds like I'll be leaving. Willie Fix-It, two-timing us over there, joining us also over at Lemonland. What's going on? Why am I frozen? There, I'm not frozen any longer. Always good to have you here, Zoot. Don't worry, you're going to get me through this one. Jayla17 in the house. How you doing, little lady? All the way from the shores of New York. Great to have you alongside the Sunny Kleins of New York. She actually lives in a very beautiful part of New York. Got nothing to do with NYC, let me tell you. Syllabor in the house. Spudley, of course, is with us. No shortage of strangers. Look at that. Look at that. Look at all these wonderful people. So wonderful to see you all. Thanks for coming and hanging out with me. One last peek over at Twitch. Yes, it is. We're twitching that itch, that's for sure. And then last but not least, just to say I'm going over to Rumble. I'm going over to Rumble to see. We have got 4 Rumblers, and although nobody has said anything yet, let me say something to you. I freaking love you for being here. Thank you for being the core, the foundation of my Rumble audience. One day when this is a huge show, you will say, I was there, man. I was there at the beginning, and him and some crazy fucking doll, some crazy little doll in the corner, a baby's head with its eyes cut out. Yes, you were there. You were there to share in the fun. Great to have you all aboard. Thanks for being here, my friends. It is never a dull moment aboard the mystery ship. I always like to share my shows. My shows they're a piece of me, okay? They are a piece of me. They are a piece of you. I'm an open book. I've always been an open book. I have nothing to hide. You know, I try to reserve the slightest little bit of privacy for myself, but as we all know, I mean, you can have all the tape on your phones. See, I have the tape on my cameras so that they're not doing the facial recognition on me. Well, they've had my face for many, many years. I'm not kidding myself. There is no such thing as Whoa, awakened mom. My house is open to you whenever you're traveling through D.C. Thank you, darling. I'm taking you up. I will be staying in your basement the next time I come through. Good to see you. Beautiful place there. Nice, beautiful home. In fact, your hubby's going to fire up that Harley, and all of us are going to go for a nice long ride in your neighborhood. You can show me around. Show me around. Crockett Man, good to have you with us. Hope you're doing well. Really do hope you're doing well. Bruce Q. Wayne, did you catch my rant on Duska at the end of the show? I didn't. I was a little behind the 8 ball, but what typically happens to me, brother, is Sunday nights when I finish my show, I go back inside and I rewatch your show because I love it. Right from the very, I mean, your opening sequence to your show it's just pure class. It's pure class. I love it. And I learn so much watching Three Beer Men. I do. Rally, I do. Okay. Folks, it has been an interesting little week here at the Mystery Ship compound. Why does my Zoom quit every single... I have to keep restarting the video. It's so weird. At least the chat keeps up. It's been a rough and tumble little week here at the home of the Mystery Ship. For the last few months, Mrs. Zoe has a cat. She has a cat. Now, this is the last cat, okay? This is the cat that she brought home from Echo Park to her house when her children were just kids, okay? They were just kids. And she went down to this woman's house, she's told me the story. So, I mean, the woman was either Vietnamese or Taiwanese or something like that. Anyway, when the kids got down there, they fell so in love with the kittens that they couldn't just take one kitten. They took 2 kittens. So a brother and a sister. And we covered this. We covered this very thing on Foxhole Squares. You know, can cats and dogs can one litter have different fathers? And it's true. It is true. Cats and dogs, one litter can come from like 5 different fathers. It all just depends on how well that woman's getting around. You know what I mean? I mean, they become insatiable at that point. I often wonder why that doesn't happen with humans. I'm kidding, ladies. I'm completely kidding. Completely kidding. Why don't you ladies get into season? Wouldn't it be so much easier, guys, if ladies went in season? Like, I'm freaking kidding, people. Come on, you know I'm joking. You know I'm joking. Steph, good to see you. Boy, did you walk in at the right time. She's probably going, that fucking so, man. He's off his fucking rocker, this guy. Oh, man. So Mrs. Zoe brought home these two little kittens, and they were in their house the entire time that her children grew up and moved out of the house. And then when she moved up here to Oregon, she got divorced, and she moved up here in 2006. And she brought her two cats with her. It was about a year ago. One of the cats just got to the point where she was hurting so badly. She was down to just barely skin and bone. And the vet said, look, you are not doing this cat any favors keeping her alive. This cat is in so much pain. I strongly advise you to put her down. And it was a very difficult day for Mrs. Zoe when she put the sister cat down. Well, now here we are. Here we are. It was about 8-9 months ago that Mrs. Zoe went to work one day, and coming across the street was one of her people from her assisted living center, and following this woman was this little baby cat, and it was about this big, this freaking big, and this little cat was so sick and so close to death. I don't want to tell you how much money she spent, probably $500, $600, $700, $800 to nurture this cat back to health. And she bottle fed the cat. She took food and mixed milk with it and spoon fed this cat. And this cat, I'll be honest with you. We already have 3 cats here. And I don't have anything against cats. There was a time in my life when I did have something against cats, and it had, truthfully, nothing to do with the cats. It had everything to do with the person in charge of those cats. I'm going to try to leave my ex-wife out of this, but it's going to surface. It's going to surface, and you're just going to have to put up with me, okay? I don't want you to think anything less of your brother Zoe when I bare my soul, okay? One thing I am is honest as the day is long. So Mrs. Zoe brought home this 4th cat, and I was like, really, honey? Do we really need another cat, let alone a sickly cat who is just barely hanging on to life? And she nurtured this little thing, and this guy, Phantom, I've shared with you, Phantom, I have now ridiculously fallen in love with this cat. When I get up in the morning, first thing in the morning, I have to go see my boy. And when I come home from work, I normally get home from work before the others. I just stick my left leg out and kind of lean back, and he jumps up, and with his claws, he scampers up my dungarees and then claws his way up my leather vest, and he loves to walk around. He loves for me to walk around with him sitting on my shoulders. He just perches himself on my shoulders, and I walk around for 15 minutes getting stuff out of the refrigerator, and he's just perfectly content to ride around with me and see what's going on from 6 feet high. This cat is, he has suckered me in. He has suckered me in hook, line, and sinker. Hook, line, and sinker, this son of a gun. If you had ever told me that a cat would rule my life, I would have told you you're out of your mind. But now I am hopelessly addicted to this little guy. And he's black and white. I think I've showed him on this. I showed a video of him. He's got like the Phantom of the Opera, right? His face is half black, half white, and he looks like He looks like a black-faced cat that somebody put that white mask from Phantom of the Opera on. That's what he looks like. That's how he got his name, Phantom. Wait a minute. Do I have a video of his? Do I have a Phantom video? I think I do. Pretty sure I do. Pretty sure I do. All right, where is it? Where is it? Where's my Phantom video? He's in here somewhere. Here he is. Here he is. All right, let me share this with you. Sucker that I am. I'm a sucker. I'm a sucker for a pretty face. What can I tell you? What can I tell you? This is Phantom. Kindly allow, for those of you who don't know him, kindly allow me to introduce Phantom to you right now. It's Phantom.
We saved his ass. And this right here is one of his favorite toys. This is quite the you can see how excited he is already. This is powered. You push the button on it. There it is. Oh, there we go. And that thing, all by itself, runs all over the place. It goes forward, it goes backward, it never stops. And he loves it. In fact, when he gets it, finally, in his mouth, he'll parade around all proud of himself that he's actually caught the son of a gun. But the thing just runs and runs. It goes all over the place. Keeps him quite entertained. It's really good on hard surfaces, but it does all right on carpet. Let's see if we can get it on a hard surface. Let's put it in the floor of the kitchen. Oh, there he is. See how proud he is? See how proud of himself he is? He's got it. Did you get it? Oh, it ran away from you.
So anyway, I have become a sucker for this cat. A sucker. Last night, for the first time ever, he got to parade around, and I woke up at like 1:30 in the morning to find him sleeping on my neck. He put his neck on top of my neck. What can I say? Now, I have to back this up a little bit, okay? Let me tell you why for a long time I had a cat problem, okay? My first wife read about this rare breed of cat. It's called a Bengal. Now, when you hear the word Bengal, you think of tiger, right? A Bengal tiger, right? I don't know why they call them Bengals, but these freaking cats are $1,500 a piece, and the prime ones, like with perfect markings and they'll go for $2,500 a piece, okay? She decided that she was going to raise Bengals. So this is a very unusual cat. It is 5% wild animal, 5% Asian leopard, 5% wild animal. The other 95 is a domesticated cat. But these cats have beautiful colors, beautiful rosettes on them. They look exactly like a leopard. In fact, I'm sure I can call up a picture. Images, Bengal cats. Yes, here we go. Allow me. This is a Bengal. Open image, new window. Open image, and new tab. This, my friends, is a Bengal. Now, this is a beautiful freaking cat. Okay? This is, I mean, it's about the best looking freaking cat. If you want to get a cat, that's about as cool looking as a cat as you're ever going to come across, you know? And I thought at first, wow, that is really unique. That is really a good looking cat. Okay, let's do this. You know, see the stripes on their eyes and everything? I mean, you got to admit, it's a badass cat right there. It really is. So my wife, my ex-wife, gets this cat. She gets this cat. And she gets it as a kitten. And eventually the cat gets to the point where she's in season. And she's like, okay, I found a guy for $500. I can have my cat sired. And I'm going to drive up to, I think she drove to freaking Salem and left the cat for a week. And Big Daddy Tom did his thing. And the woman assured us that her cat was properly fixed. And so she went back up and brought the cat home. And sure as hell, however many months later, the cat had babies. But let me back this up a little bit. Let me back this up just a little bit. These cats are not only 5% wild animal. Unlike regular cats, these cats are completely unafraid of water. They will jump in the shower with you. They love to climb. Their favorite thing was to climb up the curtains and walk across the top of the curtain rod all the way across the other side. The $2,000 curtains that my wife insisted on putting in the house were shreds. These beautiful silk curtains were garbage by the time these cats were done with it. More important is that these cats love to mark their territory. Yes, they're very, very territorial. And I started coming home. At this point, I was traveling. I was a traveling superintendent. I would come home from 3 months on the road, and I would walk in the front door of my house, and I open up the front door, and immediately I'm like, oh shit, somebody needs to change the cat box, for God's sakes. You know, what's going on here? I walk in, and, from what I could see, having been in the house 5 minutes, the cat box needed changing. So I changed it immediately, cleaned it out, took the shit outside. But for some reason, the house still had this pungent odor, a pungent odor of cat piss. Now, I'm Italian. And one thing my brother Frank over at Quite Frankly and I like to joke about is the two of us. The two of us have been given fair-sized schnozzes, okay? I got my dad's nose. I didn't get my mom's nose. I got my dad's nose. It's an Italian nose, and I can smell bullshit a mile away, okay? So after really wondering why the house smelled so badly, I started reading up on it. And I found this article that said, are you having a hard time identifying where your cat might have pissed in the house? Use a black light. So I went and I bought a 24-inch black light. And I plugged it in on a long extension cord, and I started walking through the house. And you're not going to believe what I found. Okay? Yes, it is true. Cat piss glows in a black light. You can find it from across the room. I don't know why, but I'm telling you, it is the truth. I start walking through the house, and from the carpet up the walls about 3 feet, all the way down the hallways, in the bedrooms, on the doorways, on the doors, in the bathrooms, on the front of the washing machine, on all of the kitchen cabinets. There is cat piss all over this house. So I start to scrubbing and scrubbing and scrubbing and scrubbing. I'm up. Mind you, I'm only home for 5 days, and I got to get back to freaking West Hartford, Connecticut, to go back to my job. But I scrubbed this place till the cows came home, and I got it. You know, I used pure ammonia and that. What do you call that crap? The problem is when you try to mask a smell like that with some kind of chemical, it's almost worse. I mean, you're almost better off just going with like water and lemon juice or water and vinegar, because when you start masking stuff with other chemical smells that are guaranteed to make the house smell fresh, what you end up with is I don't know how to describe it. I don't know how to describe it, but let's suffice to say that your brother Zoe was less than thrilled with these cats. And when the cat had babies, I'm looking at, when I see the kittens, I'm seeing $1,500, $3,000, $4,500, $6,000. Okay, there's $6,000 worth of cats running around this house. This is wonderful. I'm excited. Then she has me build what is referred to as a cattery outside. So to protect these cats from ever being attacked by any kind of animals, I built a cattery that you wouldn't believe. I mean, the fences went down 16 inches into the ground and were poured with concrete so nothing could dig underneath it and get to these cats. There was also a small house that had an air conditioner and a heater in it. I crafted logs and foliage, and it looked like a jungle in there, and it was the most badass cattery you ever saw. Did those cats ever spend any time in that cattery? Maybe about 2 weeks, and then they were back in the house again. They were back in the house, pissing all over my walls, pissing all over the... This was the clincher. This was the clincher from me, okay? The cats were so intelligent, we had levered door handles. Levered door handles. The cats would jump up, they'd pull on the door handle, and with their foot, they would kick off the wall, and they would open doors. They would open doors and get into any room you wanted. They're freaking amazing. Absolutely amazing. One of the cat's favorite things to do was it would jump up where my ex-wife and I had our, his and her sinks. And the cat would just kind of reach up with its paw, and it would flick open. It would flick open the cabinet where all of our towels were. And the cat would just sit on, especially when, the old lady did the laundry and folded all the towels and put them in the cabinet there, and the towels are all nice and fluffy and warm. The cat loved that. So the cat would jump up there. The minute the cat saw towels go back in the cabinet, the cat would jump up on the countertop, open up the thing, walk in there, and just curl itself up on the nice warm towels, enjoying the warmth of these towels. Well, I came out of the shower, and I'm smart enough before I go into the shower to at least open the cabinet and see that, okay, there's a clean towel in there. So I go in and I take my shower, and I come out of the shower, and I open up the cabinet door, and I grab this towel, and I just put it to my face, and I'm drying my face, and I'm like, I smell cat piss. And I look at the towel that I'm drying my face with, and there is there's a cat piss stain about this big in the middle of the towel that I'm wiping my face with. Another clincher for me was that I was having such trouble sleeping due to, this is before I had my back surgery, and I tossed and turned so much that my wife at the time she couldn't take it any longer. She said, I can't sleep in the same bed with you. You keep me awake all night. Talk about the princess and the pea. That was my ex-wife. So I said, fine. I built a room on the house, and I moved into that. I made it, put an addition on my house. I built another bedroom, and I went and I slept in that bedroom. And one of the things we did is we outfitted it with very, very nice furniture and everything. This beautiful, beautiful blue, kind of velvety, powder blue chair with a padded leg thing on it, and I'm like, oh, that's great. I can sit in this and I can read. I love to read books, and I would sit in this thing and read. The first thing the cat did was jump up and piss right in the middle of that. Of that, it wasn't even 24 hours old. The cat pissed right in the middle of the fabric of this chair, and I'm like, okay, so much for my reading chair. I guess I'll read outside. And honestly, for a while, I had a very, very, very big problem with cats. Okay, to the point where when I would come home from the road, all I had to do was open the front door to my house, and the smell would knock me to my freaking knees. It was so bad. And all I could think of is, my God, my poor little couple of girls, they're like 7 and 12 or something. What is it like when they have little friends over? Don't they die of embarrassment? Come on over to my house. No, thanks. No, thanks. Your house smells. I mean, seriously, folks. I never in my wildest dreams did I think that I would think I would fall in love with cats again. But that little phantom, that son of a gun, has got me wrapped around his finger. So I'm not only okay with cats again, I guess time heals all wounds. I am, in fact, there's 3 or 4 cats around here that all of them have me wrapped around their finger. I'm a sucker. Okay, it says sucker underneath my bandana. It says sucker right there. You're looking at him. I come in the house yesterday. No, Friday night. Friday night I get home from work, and I'm kind of rushing because I have a show to do that night. And I could sense that something was terribly, terribly wrong. And Mrs. Zoe was, I could tell that she had been crying. And I knew that whatever it was, it couldn't be good. Well, her oldest cat, the one who is now 20, this poor cat, for the last 6-8 months, this cat has got a problem with his hips, and she's been feeding it medicine every day, basically painkillers to kill the cat's pain, because the poor thing just hobbles around, and when she goes to sit down, she can't sit down like a regular cat. She's got to put one leg way out this way and then just kind of nestle her poor butt down. And the cat has lived a very long and pampered life. But all of us, sooner or later, we get to the end. And so one thing that Mrs. Zoe noticed, this was like Thursday night. She said, "Oh my God, nails, her nails are so long they have curved around, and they're going back into her paws. That's why she's having such a hard time walking." I said, "You haven't noticed this before?" She goes, "No, I'm taking her to the vet tomorrow morning." And I'm like, "Okay, all right." So she takes the cat to the vet, and the vet gave Mrs. Zoe the bad news. And the bad news was that her toenails were the least of her problem. The reason the cat has been losing weight dramatically is because all of her teeth are rotten. All of her teeth are rotten. She's 100 some odd years, 20 years old. Do the math. What is it? 9 years for a dog, 7 years for a cat? Who knows? This cat is up there. And her teeth are so gone that in spite of the fact that she gives the cat the softest food in the world, the poor cat can't eat anymore. Couple that with the fact that her hips are gone. This cat is in agony. And so Mrs. Zoe resigned herself to the fact that the kindest thing that she can do for her poor cat that she's had for 20 years is tomorrow she will be taking the cat in and unfortunately having the cat put down. It's sometimes it's the kindest thing you can do, as difficult as it is. When a cat is in agony, you're not really doing the cat any favors by continuing to try to keep it alive. It's no different than a human being. I mean, why do you think they put... I watched my dad when they put him on first morphine, and then, at the end of his life, when he was just in freaking agony because he was being eaten alive, they just kept him high. They kept him so high. My dad sat there. My brother and I went to visit him the last 72 hours of my dad's life. And my dad was so high, he was smoking. He smoked his whole life, Pall Malls. He always French curled his cigarettes. My dad was smoking imaginary cigarettes, and he was French curling. You could tell him, because he did that move all the time. He French curled, and then he would blow the cigarette out that wasn't there. And then the kicker was in, my dad knew my brother and I loved fishing. My dad is sitting in the living room chair, and he's flicking a fishing pole. And he's reeling it in, and, he's kind of tugging on the pole a little bit, and he's reeling it in. And I looked over at him, and I looked over at my brother, and I looked back over at my dad. I go, "Bob," my brother. I said, "Do you know how fucking high he is right now?" I mean, the two of us had to chuckle about it because it was just so sad. Sad to see your dad in the last bit of his life being kept comfortable on gigantic doses of morphine. I know that we all love our animals, but there's a time when you have to say to yourself, I'm not doing this animal any good by prolonging its life. And Mrs. Zoe is in that place right now, and she has been moping around the house since Friday. She hasn't gotten dressed. She just sits there and lays next to her cat, and she keeps the cat very comfortable. I mean, whatever they gave the cat, man, she ain't feeling no pain right now. I can tell you that. She gets that little dropper in her mouth, and a couple minutes later, she's like, "Oh yeah." It's the kindest thing you can do, but it's still so difficult. And I looked into today, I looked up a few articles, and I was surprised to find the information I found. The general consensus is that it is harder. It is harder on a human being to lose an animal than it is to lose one of your loved ones. And there are a couple of very poignant reasons why this is the case. Your relationships with people, it could be your best friend, it could be your father, your mother, your sister, your brother, your cousin, your son, your daughter, whatever. With people, you have an entire life of ups and downs. No matter if the person is a patron saint, okay? At some point in your life, you've had disagreements. You've had arguments. You've had discussions. You've gone to bed where both of you are angry at each other and, turned on your side of the bed and that person turned on that side of the bed. And, there's that, peak and valley to your relationships with another human being. With an animal, it is completely different. They are never angry at you. They are always the first face to greet you when you get home. They can't wait to see you. Dogs especially, they can't wait to see you when you get home. It's the bright part of their day. Look, he's home. When I walk in the back door of my house, there's my cat now. And the first thing he does is climb up my leg and sit on my shoulders and start purring. Okay? He likes to ride around on my shoulders. I had the greatest dog. I had the greatest dog I've ever had in my whole life here in Oregon. When I first moved to Oregon, again, my ex-wife rescued a black lab. And I want to say he was 3/4 black lab, but he did have a big wide nose, kind of maybe along the lines of a pit bull, but he didn't have those wicked jowls or anything. This was the most loving and amazing dog I ever had in my life. This dog never left my side. He was the most loyal, amazing dog I ever had. And I had him for 15, 16 years, that's a long, considering he was a rescue, we don't really know how old he was. This freaking dog, to this day, I never knew where this dog went to the bathroom. I never so much as ever stepped in a pile of his shit. I don't know where he went because there were no turds in my yard. That, to me, is the world's greatest dog right there. Seriously. No, but this dog, when I would fire up my motorcycle, old Rocky would run alongside me. And I would say to the dog, "Hey, man, I'm going on a dirt bike ride. Go back to the house. Go back." He wouldn't hear of it. He would go on these 6 and 7 mile dirt bike rides with me, running the whole way he wanted to be by my side. I never loved a dog like I loved that dog ever in my life. And it was sad at the end to see him get old. He had a little place right outside my bedroom door. I had an oversized, very, very nice doormat there, and he just loved to sun himself on that back deck, the early morning sun coming up in the morning. That was his favorite place to lay. And the poor guy, man, when it got towards the end of his life, he kind of lost control of his. He didn't know he was pooping, but he would be pooping in his sleep and stuff. And I would gladly clean it up. And I'm thinking, oh, Rocky, you're getting all gray around them. It was. And then one day I saw him that morning. I pet him on the head and all that. I was doing something down in the pole barn, and I came back up to the house. And as I walked across the deck, I looked at him, and I saw that he was laying there, and his tongue was hanging out. He didn't do that. And I looked at him and I said, Rocky. And I went over and I pet him on the head, and I saw that he wasn't moving. And he was a big dog. He was over 100 pounds. I picked this dog up. I mean, I'm going to start crying right now thinking about it. I picked this guy up, and I walked all around the yard with him because he was the best damn dog I ever had. And I went over to these 3 trees I had on my property, and I said, if I'm going to bury this dog, I'm going to bury him in a place where no one will ever accidentally dig him up. God darn it. I am crying like a freak. At the time, I was still a rabid Jets fan. And I had just bought the most badass $75 Jets hat you ever saw. It was bad to the bone. These are like the Chad Pennington days, those of you who know anything about the Jets. And I buried him with that hat. He was wearing my hat when I buried him. Fuck. Bear with me for just a second, people. Boy. I just need a minute to regain my composure, and then the show will continue. The show will continue immediately following this video. Bear with me, people. Bear with me. Bear with me.
My fellow citizens, our country is in danger, but not to be despaired of. On you depend the fortunes of America. We, the Americans of today, are ready to act worthy of ourselves, ready to do what must be done to ensure happiness and liberty for ourselves, our children, and our children's children. We are a nation under God, and I believe God intended for us to be free. The crisis we're facing today, it does require, however, our best effort and our willingness to believe in ourselves and to believe in our capacity to perform great deeds, to believe that together, with God's help, we can and will resolve the problems which now confront us. And after all, why shouldn't we believe that? We are Americans.
Yeah, we are, baby. Yeah, we are. I'm just going to leave it right there. I'm just going to leave it right there. I think I'm back now, but I do want to take the moment. I do want to take the moment to thank the beautiful and wonderful people who continually show up for this show. I honestly, sometimes I never know how deep I'm going to go, and the topics vary given the day, but this is something I just felt the need to talk about because I look in at the house and I see Mrs. Zoe just going to pieces. But before we continue on, I just want to thank the wonderful people that populate these chat rooms, because honestly, you are the best. And, the lemon love you drop my way and the gold pills that you support me with, they mean the world to me. And more than anything else, the way you guys open up your homes to me when I'm going across the country and say, Zoe, come stay at my place. That is just the very height of friendship. And it makes me feel so very lucky and so special to have friendships like the ones I have developed on this platform over the past going on 5 years. 5 years. September will be 5 years. I freaking love you guys. I do. You've been there with me through my my good shows and my bad shows and my weird shows and all my shit. But man, this topic, when it came up tonight, I'm like, yeah, I need to talk about this, because Mrs. Zoe is right now just in the dumper. She is in the dumper, and I kind of know how she feels. Now, my mother-in-law, my ex-mother-in-law, the wife of my ex-wife, a wonderful lady. This woman always had 4 dogs in the house. 4 dogs. And I'm not kidding you. The minute that one would get old and pass on, she would go get another dog. Perhaps I take my relationships a little deeper or whatever. That dog that I just explained to you about, the one that I carried around the yard, crying my eyes out because I couldn't believe he was gone. His name was Rocky. And how could you ever replace a dog like that? How could you just go get another one after having a dog like that? I have to tell you that my dear brother Bruce Q. Wayne called me during that break, and for those of you who don't know, Bruce runs absolutely, hands down, the finest the finest dog and cat hotel on Long Island. If any of you are in the New York area and you ever need to leave your pet somewhere, I assure you, it is the Waldorf Astoria of cat and dog hotels. From the marble floors to the spotless kennels, they spoil those animals more than their owners. It is, and he has had so many. Bruce personally has had so many rescue dogs and stuff in his life. He said, "Dude, I'm on my way to the airport to pick somebody up right now, and you got me crying my eyes out, man. What are you doing?" I'm sorry, man. It's not on purpose. I feel right now. I feel for Mrs. Zoe because there's just nothing I can do or say to take away the pain that she is feeling and the pain that she is going to be feeling tomorrow when she takes her cat in to have it, gracefully put down. And I found an article. And I found an article which kind of explains why the loss of an animal is so different than the loss of, say, a family member or a friend and it is let me read a little bit of this to you because it might make sense. Our pets are our family members, and losing them often triggers an overwhelming sense of grief, leaving us with a deep emotional void. Dogs and cats can be sources of unconditional love, and the loss of that unconditional love is often devastating. This is the deep bonds that we share with our animals. Dogs, cats, and other pets hold a special place in our hearts. They're more than animals. They are companions, confidants, providers of boundless devotion that so many of us treasure, whether it's the excited welcome home after a long day at work or the comfort of your cat purring contentedly while curled up next to you or sitting on your shoulders. Your pets offer an unwavering level of loyalty and affection. And pets are also a source of great emotional support during difficult times. How many folks reading this adopted a dog or a cat during, let's say, the pandemic, for instance? Their presence can reduce loneliness, lower stress levels, and provide a sense of purpose. This bond is what makes their loss so painful. When a pet dies, we lose both our companionship and the comfort that they brought into our daily lives, along with the routine rhythms of daily walks, playtime, the feeding, the care that they require each day, and why the grief with an animal can be, I know it sounds preposterous, but it can actually be deeper than that with a human being. And these are the three main reasons. Grieving the loss of a pet can be just as intense as grieving for a human loved one, and sometimes it hurts even more, and here's why. The unconditional love and dependence. Pets offer us unconditional love. Unlike most human relationships and the complex emotions they often include, the bonds between us and our pets is often pure and simple. They depend on us for food, shelter, and care, and in return, we rely on them for emotional connection and purpose. Losing that constant presence can feel like losing an anchor in your life. The routines and rituals, pets are an integral part of our daily routines, from the morning walk to the evening feeding to the adventures we share with them on all the quiet moments we spend together. And in between, our pets have become woven into the fabric of our day-to-day lives. When they're gone, those routines are disrupted. leaving us with a massive absence that can trigger feelings of deep sadness and disorientation. One of the biggest challenges of pet loss is that it can feel isolating. After all, not everyone understands the depth of the bond that you shared with your pet, and sometimes people will simply fail to grasp the significance of this loss. However it's intended, when people say things like, "She was just a dog," or "You can get another cat," they can make you feel like your grief isn't valid. People are reminded that your feelings are completely valid. Grieving a pet is as natural and necessary as any other loss you'll ever experience. And I have to agree with the statements in this article. Who was it written by? It doesn't say. But I read a number of articles because I was trying to help Mrs. Zoe deal with the grief that she's going through right now. Because seriously, she is the most high energy. I can't keep up with this woman. She hikes 6, 7, 10-mile, 12-mile walks. If I did that, my ankles, my knees, my hips, my back, I'd be worthless. So this woman is so high energy. I can't even pretend to keep up with her. And to see her reduced to, I don't mean anything derogatory by this, but just a blob on the couch right now. She hasn't left that cat's side for the last 3 days. And I know that she's in the process of saying goodbye. That's what she's doing. And I suppose that tomorrow is going to be a tremendously difficult day for her. I know it will be. I know that it will be. It's crazy. Hang on a second. All right, good. This is one of those moments where I want to open up the phones for a minute because I want to know if you guys have also had moments where you experienced the loss of an animal that was just everything to you. Of course, my O isn't working. Let me go back in here. Backspace. For one. There it is. There it is at long last. I knew I would get it eventually. If you have recently, or if you have previously lost an animal that was that you found very difficult to part with, I want you to call. In fact, we're getting a call right now. Are you there, my friend?
I am here.
How's it going? Who do I have on the line?
This is Cab 7.
Cab, I thought it was you. I thought I recognized your voice. How you doing, brother? Good to see you.
Oh, man, I can relate to this so very much. 18 years ago, we bought a cat, and we had her for 17 long years, and it was toward the end that we knew that she was getting sick, and we took her into the vet and asked their opinion what we should do, and they said the best thing for her, because she has cancer, and her weight was down to just under 4 pounds. She was normally 12 pounds.
Yeah.
And she was just under 4 pounds, and we couldn't let her suffer. And so the build-up to those last few days before we were going to take her into the vet, it was the hardest time.
I hear you, brother. I absolutely. I mean, I lost my dog 15 years ago, and just relaying that story about him 5 minutes ago had me bawling like it was yesterday, because
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you know what? You are so right what that article said, that some people actually suffer more from the loss of a pet than they do a human being, and that is so very real. There's no doubt about that.
Absolutely.
And so we ended up taking her into the vet, and the vet was so good to us. These people were so wonderful with us. And we had her, we said our last few words, and we had her put to sleep while she was in our arms.
Yeah.
And as a memorial, we bought an urn off of Amazon. It's a curled-up cat. It's a little Siamese curled-up cat. It looks just like her. We have her ashes in there. We have her collar around that urn. We have her paw
that's
prints.
awesome.
We have the pictures. And it's a little niche that we have in our living room to remind us every day that she's still here, and it's her spirit will never die.
That's beautiful, man.
And you know, it's been a year since she passed away. And there's one thing that we do. I don't know if anyone else can relate to this, but we have a little stuffed animal, a little Siamese cat, and every night before we go to bed, we do the same thing every night. We tell that little cat we love her, that she is not alone, that she is in our hearts.
Yeah.
And we will eventually be together one day, because I do believe that our pets go to heaven as well. Pets join the universe, the energy, just like we all do. Okay, I believe in that. And that's what helps us through the grieving process.
I've got good news for you, man. There's a beautiful lady that has joined me on this program before. I'm trying to get her back. I'm trying to get her back so badly. Her name is Leah Worth, and a dear friend, wonderful, wonderful gal. She has shared with me that she went to heaven. She went to heaven. She met Jesus. He took her all around. Meanwhile, she was in a coma back here on the planet. So her body's in a hospital, but she's up parading around heaven. Jesus is showing her all around the place, and she said that there are animals up there. There are animals up there that we have never seen before. They got animals that we haven't even imagined yet. So, and she said, you know, she was met by, I think, her grandfather or something the minute she got there, and that she didn't want to leave. She did not want to leave. So I'm telling you, brother, you will see that cat again. I promise.
I've shared this on my live stream before about death and dying. I said, you know, it's going to be one hell of a family reunion. If you're a believer in that kind of stuff, the reunion that we have here with our families, if we're fortunate enough to do those, that ain't nothing compared to the one that we're going to have in heaven.
My brother, I always kind of sensed from you that you are just a guy who lets his relationships run deep. I could tell that by you from watching your show. And
I am mushy. I am sensitive. I'm all about memories. God bless me with a big dose of all of that. But listen, I appreciate you letting me come up, so and thank you for bringing this topic up, because I know by looking in the chat, a lot of people can relate to this particular topic.
I mean, it's affecting some of them to where they said, "So I'm sorry, I got to duck out, man. This one's hurting me." But our pets are special to us, man. There's more, amazingly special, and
absolutely.
Yeah, it's one every now and then. I like to do shows on our animals, and this one's long overdue. It's kind of difficult circumstances, but I very much appreciate your call, Ben. Thanks so very much for calling in the Mystery Show.
Thank you again, Zoso. Love you, brother.
Love you, man. Thanks so much. That's a great guy right there. Cab 7 Ben. If you haven't seen his show over on D Live, it's just a great hang. He is as real a human being as you'll ever hope to meet. And man, if you get on over there, tell him Zoso says hi. Okay, Cab 7 Ben over on D Live. And we've also had him over on the Foxhole Squares a couple of times. Really a neat dude. Really Really a neat dude. Oh, good. Here's a call. Thank goodness. I'm actually kind of at a little bit of a loss right now. Hey, how's it going, Double D? Due diligence. Great to have you back, buddy.
It's going fine. It's very interesting that you're talking about this particular circumstance about the loss of pets. I had, when my Grandma Green was alive, she had a dog. His name was Dugan. Dugan absolutely loved me. He always seemed to eat my crayons. Yeah, so you can imagine, him out there in the yard.
Oh, yeah. Multicolored
doing his
poop.
business. It definitely was that. But one day he ran away and he ended up getting hit by a car.
Oh, man.
And that was when I was about 12 years old. Now I'm 50. Well, actually 47 when I got my little girl, Kira. You met her.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The beautiful little tuxedo cat, as well as the Siamese.
Yeah, took a liking to me.
Oh, yeah. He definitely, both of them did, as a matter of fact. Well, when I was still in the military, I had to go away for the very first 3-day weekend. And Kira, my cat, she went looking for me. She unfortunately got hit by a car.
Oh.
She's still alive.
Yeah.
Don't get me.
Yeah, she made it, clearly. Yeah.
Yeah.
But she went looking for you.
Because she was used to me being only gone for about 8 hours a day.
Wow.
I'm going to let every... No, go ahead.
It makes perfect sense. It does. When you get into that routine, like I said, when I walk in the door of my house, man, there he is. The cat is just. There's two things he does that are regimented. Anytime I go in the bathroom for a second, it doesn't matter if it's for a minute or 5 minutes. When I open up the door, the cat is sitting right there. I'm like, what is wrong with you?
Because it's exactly what Kira does with me.
It's so freaking weird. Like, what is this cat's fascination with the bathroom?
Well, the funniest part is this. They both know, providing you give... Because my two little fur babies, Kira and Tika, my wife's cat's name is Tika. You remember her. She was Siamese.
Yeah.
But they came from the exact same litter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're literally sisters. But they look at everything in a very different way that we do. And when we disappear behind a door, they know that we're there. They know that we're going to be coming out, but they still kind of freak out a little bit, going, "Where are you? I can't see you." This is one of those things where a lot of people don't realize, where your pet, and I will probably extend it more towards the situation of your extended fur baby family member, is more worried about you than you are about yourself.
It's they. I swear to God, they can read you, man. They can.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Yeah. It's amazing. I never, in my life, as a kid, in my 20s, in my 30s, 40s, I never, it didn't even dawn on me. But now that I've reached the age that I have reached, I'm telling you, this freaking little cat I got can tell when I come home and I've got problems on my noodle, things driving me crazy at work or other issues, financial woes, whatever. The cat comes up and just kind of like walks up and like puts its paw on my head like, "Hey, dude, pay me a little attention for a minute. You'll forget all about your problems."
Believe it. Zosalu, you're definitely not wrong there. Because there's been times, and almost every single day, I have to sit away from the house for about an hour every single day before I go home. And it's to get rid of all the negative energy that I've had going throughout the day. But when I get home, because I'll finish off work at about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I will sit, after I get done driving home, I'll sit till about, let's say I get in the neighborhood of the home about 3:30, say 4 o'clock. I'll wait till 5 o'clock before I even think about walking through the front door. But you know what the weirdest part is?
What's up?
My little girl, Kira, she's always waiting right there for me. And she does not leave my side. And there are times where I will, I will sleep wherever I sleep. She is right there, sleeping in between my legs to a point where it's kind of but
dude,
she will sleep right there with me. She will not leave my side.
I so believe in what you're saying. I witnessed this firsthand, and I actually did research on it after seeing it with my own eyes. There was a time when I lived with my brother in L.A. I was doing a job. I was doing a job down there. So for 8-10 months, he let me stay with him. And he had a little dog that he had rescued. Again, another rescue. And it was a mutt. I don't know what kind of a dog it was, but I would
call it a Benji.
Yeah. I would be sitting there with his dog, just the two of us, and me and Jack were sitting there, and all of a sudden Jack would perk up, and he would go over to the window, and he'd start looking out the window, and his tail would start wagging. And I'm like, Jack, and I get up and, pull the curtain back to see if, is the mailman here, or is somebody walking by with a dog, or there was nothing out there. But the dog would just stay attentive towards the window. And, dude, 5, 7, 9 minutes later, my brother would come driving in the driveway. It's like this dog had this sixth sense of when his owner was coming home. And I actually, after seeing that happen 3 or 4 times, I started reading about it. And it turns out that it's a well-known fact that your animals can tell when you're on your way home. I mean, that is just, so I understand your cat. I understand your cat. Your cat's probably been there for an hour going, when is he going to walk in the door, man?
Yeah, well, they both of them, Kira and Pika, they both know when I'm coming home. And it's really weird. They both understand exactly where I'm at as long as I'm within, I'd say a half mile from home. Because I stay with, when I have a bad day, I stay within a half a mile of the house. And I sit there and try and relax to, not bring in the negative energy from the day that happened.
Yeah.
But, and this is one of the things that most people don't realize about me. I don't want to bring negative energy into my home.
Yeah.
Just, it's not productive.
Perfectly understandable. Yeah, man. Leave it with, the dirt you wipe your boots with. Leave it on the front porch. Don't bring it
exactly. But both of my little fur babies, they know where I'm at within half a mile. And Kira, my little girl, the tuxedo cat that you remember her.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
She knows where I'm at, and she knows exactly when I'm going to be coming home. When I come home, she's always there at the door.
Yeah, that's awesome. That is awesome.
And I would honestly try and let her outside so she can go out and do her thing. Nope. She doesn't want to go outside. She wants to be right next to me.
It's a beautiful thing, dude. Enjoy it for all it's worth, because it is. They fill a very special place in our hearts, and I'm hoping. I'm hoping this new little cat we have. I hope he's around. I hope he outlives me, to be perfectly honest with you.
I hope so too. But I also know with my 2 little fur babies, they both know I'm going to outlive them.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they do everything they can to make me as happy as possible.
That's
Same with my wife, to be
Dude.
absolutely honest.
it makes it fun coming home at the end of the day, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah.
It does. And just, I mean, there's times where Kira will sit there and lick my arms, basically trying to clean me like she does herself. Right. That shit hurts.
Yeah, a cat
But-
licking you, like licking your face and stuff. Man, a cat's tongue is like freaking 50 grit sandpaper.
I would say more like 10 grit.
Yeah, man, it's nasty. It is nasty. Hey, brother, I got somebody ringing the dickens out of my phone.
Oh.
I'm gonna probably
No worries. Go ahead
dude,
and take care of that person.
love your call,
I know.
man.
I will love you too, brother. I'll talk to you soon, okay?
Yeah, hey, pet that cat for me, would you? Tell her I'm coming back.
You got it. You
All right,
absolutely
buddy.
Got it.
Yeah,
All right.
bye.
Love you, brother.
Love you too, my friend. Yeah, when I got to due diligence's house, his cat, she took to me. We were like instant buds. This cat was all over me. It was awesome. Why could this possibly be Awakened Mom?
Oh my West Coast boyfriend.
What are you doing,
How
little lady?
are you, beautiful?
I'm hanging in there. How's everything on your world? Good?
Oh, I'm good.
Glad to hear it.
My beautiful fur babies that I've had over the years, and I know what you're talking about. I've buried so many babies, and it's so hard. I've had cats, I've had dogs, but they're all so individual.
Yeah.
Their personalities are so individual, and
Every bit as
they
unique
are
as human
all
beings.
part of my life.
Absolutely. Every bit as unique as human beings. It's crazy. It's crazy.
It is. It is absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
Because they are part of me. They're part of my family. And they sense it. And
Oh yeah.
they react to it. It is absolutely incredible.
It's really wonderful. When you stop and think about all the wonderful things that happen to you in the course of your life. 50, 60, 80, who knows, 100 years.
Oh, heck yeah.
The 15 years with this animal and the 20 years with that animal and the 10 years with that one, every one of them leaves a mark on your soul that is it's indelible. It's
unbelievable.
Yeah.
Most of the animals that I've ever had were Belgian Malinois.
Oh, what my cousin has one. My cousin has one of those. Love that dog.
No joke.
Yeah.
My entire world was surrounded by them. I love them so much.
Yeah.
And
Gorgeous dog.
The last Belgian that I lost, I melted. I cried for a whole year.
Man.
And I
Yeah.
said to my husband, I said, I don't know if I can get another dog because he made such an impact on me.
I
loved
hear
him so much.
I hear you, sister. I mean, honestly, as I explained, I haven't been able to get another dog since my dog Rocky, because to me that was the single great. I've had a number of dogs in my life, but that was the greatest dog I ever had. How does?
Well, I have a memorial for him, and it's got his collar
Oh, that's
and his name in the corner of my family room.
that is
And
awesome.
but I'm that person who cannot live without an animal.
Oh yeah.
And so I found a husky thinking that, okay, husky's going to be easy to work with. But, oh my God, no. She's over the top. But,
Does it like to go out in the snow and not come in?
oh my gosh, she's amazing. I love her so much. She's a rescue from Covington, Texas.
Wow.
And I had her brought up here to Maryland, and I was ever so excited to watch her in the snow.
Yeah.
I was just, she loves it, and she's my baby. And I actually, my husband says to me, oh my gosh, you're really like treating her too much. You're into too many treats. And I'm like, yeah, well, she lost her girly figure. I'm sorry, but she's my good girl, and I adore her. And
Good for you.
she's an amazing human. When you come visit,
All right.
and when you come through here, and you'll meet her.
All right,
But
Lori.
she's amazing.
That's awesome. Thank you
But
for
I love you, Zoe.
thank you for an awesome call. I do very much appreciate it, Lori.
Alrighty, bye.
Take care. That's our friend Awakened Mom back in Maryland. A very, very wonderful lady. It's wonderful to get to know the people who were previously just a little line in my chat, to meet them in person, and she and her husband welcomed me into their house. A beautiful, beautiful place they live in. Well, welcome aboard the mystery ship, my friend. Who do I have on the line this evening?
Oh, hey, Zoe. It's Prairie Fire.
Hey, brother. How are
I'm
you
glad
doing?
and I know you want to go, so I'll make this quick.
No, we're good. We're good. We got time.
Just something that came up. Floyd kind of nailed it. What a lot of this has to do with is the untimeliness, the fact that we outlive them, right?
Yeah.
It's similar, and not to trivialize or whatever, but it's similar to what happens when parents have to outlive their children in war, right? It's the
But yeah,
same kind of-
that's
You
brutal,
know,
right?
the thing that we just can't explain, right? Our minds can't get, our hearts can't get around. And I've had to outlive, 3 of my siblings and a wife,
Oh, wow.
and dozens of cats, right? Well, you know about. I don't know if you heard it earlier. It's Prairie Fire.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah, and folks know about Mrs. Fire. I call
Sure.
her. But gosh, dozens of cats that
Yeah.
we raise together. Just every time, there's that survivor thing too. It's like, even with our animals, like why do they have to be the one to pass before us? You want to know something weird, dude? Is that I did finally sort of get through that, especially with Mrs. Fire, a year or so ago,
Yeah.
maybe a little longer. And finally, the words that I finally heard for it actually came from, of all places, from Yellowstone.
Really?
From
The
there
TV
was
show?
like when the patriarch of the family was killed, right? The grandson was like,
Yeah.
why, because he was only in his 60s or whatever, and it was very untimely. And this whole thing just speaks to how we get by this whole concept of untimely loss. I think that's some of the hardest. It's harder than losing our parents or grandparents, I think, in some ways,
Yeah.
because it's so untimely. And the way the father explained it, he just said, you can remember the way he died, or you can remember the way he lived, but your heart can't focus on both.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it just,
Oh, man.
I couldn't believe this. A hokey, phony line from a TV show would provide such an answer.
Yeah. And it's very true. It really is true. I think it's important to more importantly, to remember the way they lived. You know, I mean, that's, dude. That dog that I was sharing about earlier. Okay, this dog loved water like. I mean, you swear that the dog was a fish, and I would take him down. I would take him down to the Rogue River, which is a sizable freaking river right here in Oregon where I live. And one thing that dog would do is I could toss a stick. I could toss a stick out in the water, and he would go get that stick. And man, he would not stop until he got that very stick and brought it back to me. And this one time, I accidentally threw the stick just a little too far. And it got out. It got out into like not quite, not level 4 rapids, but the very fast-moving water. And the dog went old Rocky, he went for it. And I'm looking at his head, and he's bobbing up and down and he's hauling at. I'm running down the side of the river. I grab another stick, and I'm screaming at him, Rocky, Rocky! And I throw the stick at him. I threw it halfway between the two of us, and he very gladly turned and came towards the stick in the shallower water. And I'm like, oh, thank God. Thank God, man. He would have gone over the falls. This dog. So, I want to remember those times more than anything else, man. You know.
You see what I mean, man? I'm looking at you on the screen. I'm seeing how your face just lights up now when you remember those kind of moments.
Yeah, man. It's just incredible.
And just when you feel like maybe that's the thing to run by Paula. She's probably not ready to hear that now, but there'll be a time where she'll remember the way he lived.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, dude. That cat has given her so many memories. That little cat in there, man. She's always been a little cat. She was always eating her sister's dinner. She would feed them both simultaneously. And her cat, this cat that's still with us, Mia is her name. She would wolf her food down and then go over and kind of push her skinnier little sister out of the way and finish her food.
Yeah.
That little beach ball, man, all she cares about is food. It's so funny. But
so that's my thought.
Man.
She can remember the way he died. She can remember the way he lived.
What a perfect way to end this segment, Paul. I very much appreciate your call, my friend. Thanks for checking in with us.
God bless you guys.
All right, buddy.
Thank you all for all the support you've had for all those same things that I've been through. This family has just been my rock.
Yeah. Hey.
I'll say that.
I love you, my brother. Thanks
all
so
right,
much.
Brother.
We'll talk to you soon.
God bless, though.
Take care. It's our friend Prairie Fire right there. Hey, just a tremendous guy, and as real gets. That man right there. That's funny. We met up in Wisconsin, and I swear to God, man, we sat down and had dinner with the couple of places we wanted to go. Were both blown out. We ended up just going to this college place and. Shit, we had a great freaking time. It was awesome. I'll never forget leaving. The minute I left, a thunderstorm started, and man, I've never seen it rain like that. I mean, wow. Yeah, I'll never forget it. Ever forget it. All right, it looks like we have made it to the end of yet another mystery ship. I want to just take a second to ask us to please remember to pray. There's a number of people out there, and I keep leaving myself notes. All over the place. Hang on, let me see. I do know our dear sister Laura Dora has recently broken her leg, and she's taking care of her mother, and her mother fell and broke her hip. So here's Laura Dora with a broken leg in the hospital trying to care for her mother with a broken hip. So please. There are several mothers out there. I would like us to pray for my dear brother Val Kimber and his mom. Please keep Mrs. Kimber in your prayers. Bruce's mom. She's showing beginning signs of Alzheimer's. He's going to have his hands full at some point. My own mother. who at Christmas times, I mean, frightened us to death. I thought I was not, by only the miracle that my aunt went by and convinced my mother to go to the hospital. If it wasn't for that, she might not be here. And man, and absolutely Laura Dora and her mother. And I'm going to throw in Leah Worth's mother, because Leah Worth is taking care of her mother every single day. And Leah needs some looking after herself, you know. So please keep our mothers in our prayers. I do ask you to pray for Laura Dora that her leg heals properly and she's good as new as soon as possible so she can further care for her mother. Please don't forget to pray for Leah Worth, whose daily struggles are, you wouldn't want to be going through what she goes through, and she does it cheerfully and happily, and I love that lady. I love that lady. Please keep our dear brother Gary Flessner in your prayers, that Gary returns to his home and can get himself up and down out of bed, works his upper arms, gets his body strength back. That's what he needs, folks. That's what he needs. I love each and every one of you out there. Thanks so much for being here. Thank you to the beautiful people who donated gold pills to the show. What did I do? Did I somehow change cameras? Did I somehow? Well, that wasn't on purpose. That was absolutely an accident. Let's not do that yet. I mean, I know we're out of here, but whoa, come on. We want to get rid of that. For crying out loud, Zoe. Yes, I want to remove the text, but I want to add a video source. Video capture device. There it is. Existing. There it is. There it is. Okay, good. I'm back. I'm not really gone at all. Holy guacamole, man. It's not that hard to be a broadcaster. Just pay attention. Pay attention. Okay. Over here at Pill Foxhole, we have this little thing called the Scratchin', and it is wonderful. It really is wonderful. It's like a lottery game, and I am releasing that right now so that you guys can scratch that itch over there. Thank you to the beautiful people donating tonight. Just Rev. He said, here's to friends lost. Thanks, Just Rev. Good to see you, buddy. Always good to see you. Safety Net, 820 brings the cookie, leaving a love bomb right here. Thank you, Lynn. Due Diligence brings the can. Have a grog on me. I did indeed. Rooster brought the shades as well. No fooling. Girl Patriot brought the can. Thank you, darling. And Classical Chick. Great job on the squares last night. Thank you, Classical Chick. We are slowly but surely figuring our way out. We really, after our test Wednesday night, we thought we had it licked. We learned something last night. We learned something. We suffered from some kind of overheating of the CPU. Just asking that little thing to do a little bit more than we're going to split. We're going to divide and conquer. We're going to assign the Zoom to one computer and let the OBS run the rest. And I think, God, I think we really finally have something. My fingers are crossed. I mean, there's a reason why there hasn't ever been a show like Foxhole Squares up and running yet. It's because it is, and I reminded Sandra of this last night, it's a tremendous undertaking. I mean, you're hosting a Zoom call with 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. You're hosting a Zoom call with 13 people and then asking your OBS to... She's got 64 or 84 buttons on the screen. It is the most impressive thing I've ever seen. We appreciate all the help that we're getting from our friends, and I'm hopeful that next Saturday is going to go just as smooth as freaking glass. Thank you to all you wonderful people. Over here in Lemon Land, there's been no shortage of wonderful people donating tonight. Look at this. Look at this. Thank you to Lynn Winters, very much. To T.L. Spud. Thank you, my brother. Peggy Dancer, you are awesome. D. Dowd, good to see you. Bad Zoot, Willie Fix It, Dandy 002, Jayla 17, and Silbor. Thank all of you guys. Thank you all for your donations to the show. It really helps keep the boat afloat, if you know what I mean. Let me throw a little something, something, something in that treasure chest right now. Poke a little something in it, and I'm releasing it right now as we speak. As we speak. Coming your way in 12 seconds. 12 seconds! All right, looks like people are, wait. How come the scratching is released? Am I missing something? Is anybody scratching off those gold pills? It's released, I'm telling you. It really is. Scorch, good to see you, man. It's been a minute, buddy. Good to see you. Okay, I'm not kidding you. That scratching is released. Go and get it. Let me see if it works. What is going on here? It says, what is going on with my freaking... I'm not going to leave until I see people winning gold. There we go. LT broke it loose. He broke it loose. Very good. Very good. Well, look at this. Spudley on top of the heap. Bad Zoot right on his heels. Chayla 17. Good to see you on that list again. Cosmic Grandpa and Lynn Winters rounding out the top 5. Good for you guys. Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. And look at all those people winning gold pills over there. It makes me feel good. Good. I can go inside and get myself a bowl of ice cream knowing that I gave it my due diligence, didn't I do? Am I going to win a gold pill? No gold pills for Zoe. No gold pills for Zoe. Let's try it one more time. One more time. Scratching that itch. I'm scratching that freaking itch. Come on. Come on. Lottery ticket. Here we go. For those of you who have never seen a gold pill scratched off, this is what it looks like. Okay? There is that's like a lottery ticket, and I'm going to scratch it right now. Well, look at that. All those pills, and not a gold pill to be found. Not a gold pill to be found. Son of a gun. We're going to try it one more time. Third time's a charm. Third time is the charm. Come on. Here we go. One last chance. Nope. Looks like not tonight. Not tonight for your brothers, though. All right. Well, maybe next time. Maybe next time. I got things to do. There's a pillow calling my name, and I really need to. I need to shave tonight. I'm looking a little rough. All right, people. Have yourself a wonderful week. I freaking love you. We will see you around the bend. Around the bend. Be good. Thanks for hanging out with me. All of you wonderful people. All of you. 11 of you over there at Rumble. Sloan checked in. Oh, man. He said we had to put Sing down. He never took to anyone like he did you. Tough night. Sorry to hear that, Sloan. Sloan had a beautiful dog. And I don't know why it is. Animals like me. They just do. Birds of a feather. What can I say? All right. Freaking love you all lots. Love you all lots. Be good, my friends. Have a great week. Love one another. We'll see you on the flip side. Have a great week.